Su introducing the extravagant Ramiro Francisco Rodriguez Romero.
Hello, everybody!
Hey!
Oh, come on, let's get a better one. Hello!
Hello!
Okay, that's actually better. We'll work on that as we go through the night. So, my name is Romero, and I'm new here to Flint, but this is my first time hosting this Collab Night. I've come here quite a few times since I've been here, and I mean, we can all agree that this is a pretty sweet night, right?
Yeah,
Community get together.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So, I don't know when we start calling up people to come up, but should we start doing that now?
Well, if you want, you could maybe play a song or something. Did you want to do that first?
Oh, not
to get us started? Oh,
No,
okay. Okay.
Could you back the microphone up just a little bit?
Yeah, and then to,
Like about here?
yeah, because I am kind of looking up your nose
Right
from there. Okay.
Over there? Over here?
Lay it up closer, go further away.
Lay it this way, to the left, to the right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's gonna be
Well, whichever way you want to do it, because it's your night.
Oh, okay, so this is my night. So, usually whenever I like to start off anything, I like to start with a good joke, and I know you, my boy, are a fan of jokes, right? Alright, so let's start with a quick joke really fast. Alright, so how many apples grow on an apple tree?
I don't know how many.
I don't know how many.
All of them, silly. Anyway, so would we like to get our first contestant up here on Spin the Wheel? His name is Gary Flinn.
Yeah.
There's Gary Flinn in the house.
Gary!
Is that you, Gary Flinn? Ooh, absolutely. All right, come on. Get your fine self up here. And then I step down, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or you can sit in those chairs back there too if you want. Doesn't matter.
I just don't know if I'm a prop or not.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You could.
A few things to say before I give this month's piece from my new book, just came out last month, called Hidden History of Flint, which has been a pretty good seller. So that's the front cover. It shows a 1920s image of downtown Flint. What is now the Huntington Bank building hasn't been built yet. And on the back cover, the colorful theater, which I think I talked about previously, was the Palace Theater, which is where, in fact, this whole photo is where the University of Michigan Flint downtown campus is now. And the portrait is that of Flint's most prolific inventor, Lloyd Copeland. Now, as for the book itself, of course, I've had 4 book signings. They all went well. In fact, at the book signing at Barnes & Noble, not only, they provided the books, by the way, so after I was finished with the book signing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they asked me to sign every copy of my books they had in inventory, making those instant collector's items. And also, last Friday at Art Walk, now this is interesting, showing how my first book continues to sell, I sold more copies of the first book, Remembering Flint, Michigan, than I did of my new book. And because there were a few people who only had plastic, credit cards and debit cards and the like, I had referred them to going to Totem Books or Barnes & Noble, and that inspired me to go to Totem Books to check on the inventory of my books, and they were all sold out. And so I replenished Totem Books, so I sent them 10 signed copies of In the History of Flint.
Yeah.
So, and as I mentioned, my first book is still selling. In fact, I talked to the reprint department at Arcadia Publishing, whose History Press imprint publishes my book, and that book is now on its 9th printing since it was first published back in 2010. So after 7 years, it's still selling.
Great.
Now, and also I talked to the Sloan Museum, which is now top-heavy in the gift shop of merchandise for the current exhibit about the Titanic. But that exhibit ends next month. They plan on replenishing the mix on the gift shop and restocking my books. So look for my book at the Sloan Museum again in September. And now I'll read, this is going to be, well, they call this in the TV business a make good, because the chapter I'm going to read I read last May, but because of a glitch in Jennie's video camera, only part of my presentation made it to the camera. So I'm doing what the TV industry calls a make good. So
Okay.
I'm going to do the piece again,
Good.
which is called J. Dallas Dort, businessman, Flint booster, music maven. Josiah Dallas Dort was not a Flint native, but he would not only become a prominent Flint businessman, but also a major employer who helped boost the city population, as well as a major contributor to the arts and recreation. Now, at this point in the video, Jennie will insert a portrait of J. Dallas Dort. Now back to the text. J. Dallas Dort was born in the Detroit suburb of Inkster on February 2nd, 1861, the son of a businessman and Vermont native. He attended Wayne High School and Ypsilanti State Normal School. He left school to help his mother run the family business. His father died when he was 10. At age 15, he began to work at a crockery factory in Ypsilanti and moved on to work at a similar firm in Jackson 3 years later. Around that time, his father's estate was settled. In 1881, Dort moved to Flint and was employed as the clerk for the Whiting and Richardson hardware store. Dort worked there for 2 years before he moved to Saginaw to work for the Morley Brothers firm. He was there for a year and saved enough money with help from his father's estate to establish his own hardware business back in Flint with business partner James Bussey. In 1886, Dort sold his interest in the hardware business and invested $1,000 to begin his long-time partnership with Billy Durant. They bought the Coldwater Road Card Company and moved it to Flint, where it became the Flint Road Card Company, which initially employed 20 workers at a converted woolen mill that is still standing on Water Street at the Flint River. That is now the landmark Factory 1 on Water Street. While Durant concentrated on marketing the road cars out of town, Dort supervised production back home. Shortly afterward, Dort married his first wife, Nellie Bates Dort. The company sold 4,000 carts the first year. It greatly expanded, and in 1895, the business was renamed the Durant-Dort Carriage Company. By 1900, Flint was producing over 100,000 horse-drawn vehicles per year, earning it the nickname the Vehicle City. Dort had other business interests. He helped to establish the Imperial Wheel Company, the Flint Varnish Works, the Flint Axle Works, the Dominion Carriage Company of Toronto, the Blount Carriage and Buggy Company of Atlanta, Georgia, and the Pine Bluff Spoke Company of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Dort also had a hand in the Western Mount Axle Company, the McCormick Harness Company, and the Colton Electric Stove Company. He also invested in Buick and in General Motors and owned a farm that raised prize-winning horses. Dort cared for his workers. He founded the Flint Vehicle Factory Mutual Benefit Association, which provided protection for workers in case of injury, illness, or death. It was the forerunner of today's Industrial Mutual Association. He was also a city planner and served on park boards, with which he had a major role in Flint's development. He served as a director at Genesee County Savings Bank and was president of the Carriage Builders National Association. He had roles in the formation of the Flint YMCA, Burley Medical Center, Atlas Valley Country Club, and the Flint Golf Club. Dort's first wife, Nellie, died in 1900 and was buried at Glenwood Cemetery. They had a son, Ralph, and a daughter, Dorothy. In 1906, Dort married Marcia Webb, and they had 3 children, Dallas Webb, Marjorie, and David Truscott. That same year, the Dort family moved into the new, large, stately home at the corner of Kersley and Crapo Street. At this point, Jennie will insert a picture of the stately Dort house. This was also the year the Durant-Dort Carriage Company reached its production peak and had a role in reorganizing Buick. But a rise in the sales of and use of motorized vehicles led to the decline in sales of horse-drawn vehicles. So in 1914, Dort began to liquidate the Durant-Dort Carriage Company, which ended production of horse-drawn vehicles in 1917. In 1915, the Durant door facilities were utilized in the formation of the Dort Motor Car Company by J. Dallas Dort, which also built a factory on the east side of town. At this point in the video, Jennie will insert a vintage Dort motor car ad. Above all, J. Dallas Dort was a patron of Flint culture. So were his wives. In 1890, Nellie founded one of the oldest organizations devoted to music in Flint, the St. Cecilia Society, at their home. In 1913, he founded the Choral Union, which was a musical organization to benefit the city. In 1917, he provided the funds to establish the Flint Community Music Association, the forerunner of the Flint Institute of Music. Both J. Dallas and Nellie were accomplished musicians. He played the cello, and the Kearsley Street home was fitted with an Aeolian pipe organ he liked to play for guests. Tragically, J. Dallas Dort was stricken by a heart attack and died while playing at the Flint Golf Club on May 17, 1925. The entire Flint area grieved his passing, with many tributes given by his friends and associates. His old business partner, Billy Grant, warned, "Mr. Dort and I were partners for 38 years. I knew the man. Flint has lost his best citizen. I've lost my best friend. I am completely crushed." Charles Dort Mott added, "I am terribly shocked by the sad news of the passing of Dallas Dort. He was my very main personal friend. Flint had lost his best citizen, and one who was never tired of giving his limit in work and wherewithal." Dort's death and tough competition in the 1920s led to the closing of the Dort Motor Car Company in 1925. The newer Dort factory on the east side was sold by Dort in 1924 to become the core of AC Spark Plug's main production facilities on Dort Highway, which was named in Dort's memory in 1926, as the state trunk line, bypassing downtown, utilized most of Western Road, which Dort had first proposed. Dort had ideas about boosting Flint even further, which he had planned to reveal a month later had he not died. His widow Marcia continued to live in the Kearsley Street home until she turned it over to the Cultural Center for use as a music school in 1958. It became the Dort Music Building. The Dort family contributed greatly to the facilities expansion, but during construction of the expanded Dort Music Center, which would have utilized the old Dort home, it was destroyed by fire in 1970. Marcia Webb Dort died in 1978. The Dort Music Center, housing the Flint Institute of Music and the Flint Symphony Orchestra, is a lasting legacy to the Dort family's contribution to the arts. And just as a reminder, my new book, Hidden History of Flint, the cover price is $21.99.
Only $21.99.
And my first book, Remembering Flint, Michigan, is still at the cover price of $19.99.
$19.99.
Yep. So I'll enjoy the rest of the evening with the audience, and I thank you very much.
So one more time, give it up for Gary Flynn. You can find his book, Hidden History of Flint, at Sloan Museum, Totem Books, and where else?
Barnes and Noble.
And Barnes and Noble.
And Sloan Museum, wait until next month when they may get it.
Oh, okay, so wait until next month until it's back. But one more time for Gary Flynn. Also, I would like to take this moment to remind everybody that Creative Alliance meets every first Wednesday at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. at Churchill's. And Collab Nite is a Creative Alliance event every third Wednesday, 7 to 10. Open Canvas is on my right, which is stage 1, I think. And Flint Underground YouTube and every Monday? Oh, Flint Underground YouTube and every Monday at 6 p.m. Comcast, channel 17. And you guys can tell me to turn off the camera or tell Jennie to turn off the camera if you guys do not want to be recorded. And I think that is all of the service announcements, correct? Okay. Well, next we have Alex Markoff. Oh, another book. Hell yeah. Alright guys, Alex Markoff.
Hi, I'm only going to read one. This is my new book.
What was the name of it again?
It's called The Faith in Humanity, Poetic Matters.
Are you selling them at Totem yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh, I think you
They're
should.
on Lulu, on lulu.com.
Along with your other book, which is called what?
Yeah, you're selling me better than I am selling myself. My old book, My Life as a Superhero, is also available at lulu.com.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, well, so the reason why I'm sort of is because I'm trying to give you the background for this, the last poem of the book. This is the last poem of the book. I follow a line of reasoning, and I end up just sort of saying, you know what, I didn't quite get there. I guess that's all you needed to know for this last poem of the book. I was determined to define my faith in humanity, knowing that recognizing my relationship with God would not be enough. Humanity at the onset was like a single bird, and I could see the world from the perspective of this bird, but that also was not enough. And so I walked out onto the shoreline on a cold, windy day flecked with rain and witnessed the way its delicate, pod-like body crossed the rain cloud behind it. In the distance, an arch of blue-grayness evaporated into a full spectrum of colors, and I asked God why he chose such a cliche thing as a rainbow. And God proceeded to ignore me, and I told him that I was sorry, but that was also not enough. And so I dreamt of the bird. I saw the way it organized its life. I asked the bird if it could think, and the bird ignored me. And I apologized for asking such a silly question, but that was also not enough. And so then I was a flock of birds. I witnessed all my moving parts pulsate as one. I was a flowing human heart following itself into the deepest recesses. I was a full spectrum of colors for a moment. I came back and I asked God if that was enough, knowing that he would say no. Thank you.
So, give it up for Alex Markoff. Can we find your book everywhere, Alex?
Oh yeah, it's on lulu.com.
Lulu.com.
Right.
And it was called Faith in Humanity, once again.
So next we have Jennie.
Hell yeah. You want to get up here? Give it up for Jennie, guys. Come on, raise the roof. Come on.
Some of you probably, some of you know, that I wrote this book called Tales of a Practical Dog, and it's just a silly little book where I'm writing it from the dog's perspective, and I call it a storybook for adults with dogs, because the dog does dog stuff. It's all from his perspective. So anyway, and I had a lot of fun with it, because then I animate. I drew all the pictures for it and put it together, and it was really fun. So I think I'm going to do a second one. And I'm going to use those characters, plus I'm introducing a few others. And let me just say that this first chapter of the book was inspired by an actual event. It's that smell again. A big fluffy white cat rolled onto its feet, but it didn't quite stand up. She had been laying on the poshest scrap of carpet left in the middle of an old oak floor. Before committing to the exertion of standing, she stiffened out her legs and sniffed at the air again. Yes, there was a new kind of edge to it, but definitely was the smell that she liked. She stood up to investigate. Strolling down the hall, then into a small room at the end, she followed her nose to an open window. She pulled her plump body onto a small table to get nearer to the thin wisps of smoke. The evening air entered. It was cool and also smelled of lilac. Entranced, she leaned closer to the open window. She could hear her master stirring just outside of it. She wondered jealously why he hadn't included her in his open-air excursion. What was it like out there, she wondered. Then she heard the faint rattle of cellophane. Candy. She put her front paw on the windowsill to take a peek outside. He was sitting on the roof with his back against the peak of the house. Maybe not Candy, she thought, as she peered into the darkness trying to determine what he had in his hands. But then she watched as he set a white something to his lips, inhaled, then slowly let out a cloud of smoke. A large yellow moon gave the white vapor an eerie glow. She was mesmerized. She moved her front paws farther down the pane to make room for her extra large behind. Curling her tail around her, she lifted her nose to get a whiff of the smoke. She doubted that he even knew she was there. She was proud of her quiet, stealthy ways. She reveled in the confidence that no other animal possessed her incredible intellect. She regularly stood above and hissed while making a threatening posture at other animals. However, from a safe distance, she was no dummy. Another cloud of smoke wafted her way. She sniffed the air again. Age and weight might have slowed her down a little, but with age came confidence and even greater intellect. Her mastery of her environment was magnificent. Again, she noticed another cloud of shimmering moonlight smoke. This time, she even pawed at it. Come closer, she purred at the cloud. Closer, closer, and then it happened. She fell with a thud onto the sloping asphalt below. Her master was surprised to see her, and a bit alarmed by her wobbly walk towards the edge of the roof. She was still shaking her head, trying to get her bearings, when she noticed that she could see over the edge of the roof. Holy shit, that's a long way down, she mused. Then panic set in. She turned and looked at her master, who was now grasping at the open window behind her, but with his eyes fixed on her. She could see that he was mumbling something in her direction. She cocked her head to one side, trying to comprehend the meaning until she tired of the game. Then she turned once again towards the edge of the abyss. It made her shudder. She let out an involuntary meow. She willed her paralyzed legs to move her away from the edge. There was no way down. There were no stairs, no nearby furniture to jump on, just asphalt and open air. She looked back at her master. He was now inside the window. The bloody coward had abandoned her. She wailed in a cat knees. The bloody coward has abandoned me, she wailed in cat knees. She rushed up towards the opening where he flailed his arms and frantically motioned for her to get closer. She did. But why was he making those loud, threatening noises? Was he cursing her? How dare he? She didn't have to put up with this outrage. She turned her back and walked in the opposite direction. But then, there she was again, on the edge of nothingness. "Help me," she screeched in her native tongue. She turned her head back towards her master, who was now quietly staring at her from inside the house. A look of genuine concern eclipsed his usual smiling face. She ran to him. She stopped short of his grasp. No master was going to manhandle her. Who does he think he is? She growled as he nearly grabbed her tail. "What the hell's wrong with you?" she hissed. And then, with an unexpected reach, he got a hold of her neck. Her neck! She tried to bite the yellow fingers that grasped her tighter and pulled her off her feet. She snarled and splayed her claws, digging into the window pane, then into the arm of her master. "Cheeky bastard," she wailed as she swore and hauled her, and he swore and hauled her scratching body back inside. She flew a bit and landed in a very uncat-like position. Then the window was closed behind her. She shook her head and body, then walked away towards the scrap of carpet. Rumpled, but with her dignity growing with every step, she sashayed to her favorite place and laid on in her favorite position, contemplating that as soon as she rested a bit, she planned to eat that last few morsels of 9 lives that she had left in her dish downstairs. That's it.
That's cool. Give it up for Jennie. So next we have Alex Randall.
Yeah. Yes.
Alright. Alex. Kick some ass.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, who here would love to have superpowers? Me. You don't want superpowers? Right. Alright, okay, yeah, me too, who wouldn't? You think, too bad Oprah's not giving away superpowers. And you get a superpower, you get a superpower, you get a superpower. Alright, do you think superheroes ever get sick of their powers? Imagine this phone call that Spider-Man has to take like 10,000 times a day. Hey, is this Spidey? Yeah, man. Hey, I just want to say thanks for saving my family. Oh yeah, dude, no problem, no problem. Hey, hey, by the way, can you come scrape all your web slinging crap off the side of my building? I mean, and apparently insurance doesn't cover you drop kicking goblins through my wall. You know, if I would have known the destruction you were going to cause, I was just going to let my family die. You know, I think that owning superpowers is a lot like owning a boat. You know, at first you're all pumped and excited to use it, but then after a while you just have to deal with everyone just pretending to be your new best friend, sucking up to you at work, just trying to get that free boat ride. Hey man, great presentation at work today. Oh, thanks. Yeah, how was I supposed to get out today? 85, huh? Man, I need to get myself on a lake. Hey, I heard someone around the office got a new boat today. Wait, was that you? Aw, man, no way, when are we gonna take this out? Alright. If I was gonna get superpowers, I think I'd want, like, to be able to shoot fire or ice from my hands. I think it'd be cool. But how often would you actually be using your superpowers to save people? You know how people are. They would just exploit your abilities for just the dumbest reasons. You're at like a birthday party and they're just like, hey, I think I know who can light these candles for us, huh? It's like, jeez. Or they're like, yeah, my beer's getting a little warm, man. Mind cooling it off? So now you just waste your entire night walking around, chilling everyone's beers. Yeah, such a waste. You know how I know people would do that? Because apparently my only superpower is being tall, and everyone just wants me to change their light bulbs. But despite all that, I think I would want to be able to shoot fire and ice. It'd be pretty dope. Think about it. If I ever wanted a Slurpee, all I have to do is go buy a Coke. I can buy any flavor of soda I want. I have unlimited Slurpee potential. Any flavor I want. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool. If you guys had superpowers, how many of you would want to be superheroes? You know, help people? Jeez, well, you guys are better than me. If I had superpowers, I would be so evil. God, I would just, the moment I get superpowers, do not trust me. Back off. I'm gonna walk down the streets of Flint, just shooting down police helicopters. Man. I'd try to get like 5 stars, like on Grand Theft Auto. Oh yeah, so God save the world, today I get superpowers. One day. But you know, I don't want any lame superpowers. There's like 2 tiers of super people, right? You have like the top tier, like the corporate, executive level superheroes, the badasses. You got the Spider-Mans, the Batmans, the Iron Mans. And then you got like the low level, lame, entry level superheroes. You got like Robin, Ant-Man. You know, and every time I talk about Ant-Man like that, people are always just like, yeah, man, but I know that, you know, ants may be small, but they can carry like 50 times their own weight. Yeah, well, who's their arch enemy? Anteater? Anteaters reach like 90 pounds. That's like 10 billion ants they have to eat. You can't call it a superpower if you can't even fight off a small mammal. You know, Ant-Man would literally be more of a superhero if he just stayed a human, sat in a chair, and just got drunk all day. You know, therefore, alcohol is a superpower. What would alcohol's superhero be called? Anyone? 12-step man? AA man? Yeah, but how much of a superpower is it if AA man's biggest weakness is he can't even walk in a straight line? Alright, thank you.
So what is like arch nemesis be like menace to sobriety? You know. Anyway, that's being stupid. Give it up for Alex. Next we have Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly in the house.
Yeah, hearing her. Okay? Oh, you want to do one more?
By the way, here's another PSA. If you ever want to host this, you can contact Jennie right here and, like, you know, do good, homies. That's what I say, right?
Glen Campbell was a guitar player until I seen him with the Boston Pops. He did classical gas, and I was like, what? That was about back in the 70s, late 70s, you know, and I became a fan. He was part of a group known as the Wrecking Crew. Leon Russell was among them, you know.
Okay.
1963, he had 600 songs he appeared on, you know what I mean, on records, you know. That was the Wrecking Crew, was from LA. Anyway, so this one's called, let's see, By the Time I Get to Phoenix. tell her so. She just didn't know I would really go. Down here somewhere. Still there. I don't know, but I'm turning it up slow. Okay, I think it's okay. Okay, this one, I should have learned all the words to it.
Yeah.
It's got 4 verses, so I'll play a lot of harmonica. That one song there was a Jim Webb song. Now this one was a guy named Hartford, Johnny Hartford or something.
Hartford, yeah.
Yeah, he did it. It's called, what is it called?
Gentle on my mind.
Thank you, Gentle on my mind. Last one is another Jim Webb song. It's called Wichita. Ooh, sorry about that. Wichita Lineman. I am a
Niall.
Thank you very much.
So this next name is Justin something Scanlon.
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 Just
Scanlon.
Just
I could not read your middle name. I am so sorry, man.
Niall.
That's my birth name. And that's
Is it Niall?
Niall, yeah.
That's awesome. Like the Nile River.
No, like Niall of the hostages.
Okay, that too, man. All right. Well,
Okay.
give it up to Justin Niall Scanlon.
Hey, Justin.
I appreciate the double mics for my multiple personalities. That's really cool.
Now's the time when ghosts gather round. It's a bar at the stroke of midnight. Dried up souls afraid they might drown in ocean like your eyes. Ocean eyes, black pearls, they wait for me to dive down. Let you swallow me whole. All my doubts dissolve like salt in the sea. Dancing with the dolphins, my soul. Starfish stranded past the shoreline. Wait in vain for tides that will not come. Soul seeking safety on the high ground. Ache, bake, suffocate in the midday sun. The shoreline, wait in vain for tides that will not come. Soul seeking safety on a high ground, ache, bake, suffocate in the midday sun. So closing time, night calls it a day. Our drinks to stand warm and in cold. Hand in hand, we're both gonna slip away to oceans deeper than before. Not to wait a moment more. Oceans deeper than before.
Thank you.
raindrop, to think about you and think about me, and how the two of us made the time stop, made the time stop. What did I say? What did I mean? The meaning was something in between. What could I say? What could I do but swallow my pride and tell you that I love you? I love you. The world that we live in is a fine and a public place, like a wishing well made of marble inside a marketplace. I could wish our dream be true if it had to be real without you. Without you. What did I say? What did I mean? The meaning was something somewhere in between. What could I say? What could I do but swallow my pride and tell you that I love you? I stretch my heart and I touch your hand. Now love's lost acres, they turn into a promised land. And you can talk about the gold, you can die for fame. It's all just ice in a monopoly game without you. The meaning was something somewhere in between. What could I say? What could I do but swallow my pride and tell you that I love you? I love you. Every now and then you dig something out of your closet that was sort of buried there for like a million years. This was actually a tune called Hot Planet. I wrote this back when I was 18. It's called Hot Planet. Like today, no children play. The streets are bright but quiet and deserted. Beasts unburdened eat their hay. No work today, the fields of haze, the wheat unyielding. In a land of orange suns and yellow horizons, the daylight is dusty and red, and it looks like a red hot planet. Outskirts tell of fairy tales, deserted trails of uniforms and rusting hardware. No one knows the reasons why the sunlight's crying, sends parchment tears to fall on drying ears. And in a land of orange suns and yellow horizons, the daylight is dusty and red, and it looks like a red hot planet. carry on the garden gun. Adapting, driving, re-beginning, and somewhere underneath the stars, scattered guitars are fingered, they're fingered by the wind. 'Cause in a land of orange suns and yellow horizons, the daylight is dusty and red, and it looks like a red hot planet. Could be red hot. Yeah, could be a red hot planet. Could be red hot.
Thank you.
Don't forget to mention the painting over here.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah, go.
get that last one. That's right. You got some chance. So that was Justin, Niall, Scanlon. Thank you. That's some awesome stuff there. Yeah, I would like to invite everybody to not be shy whatsoever. We do have a beautiful canvas right here that is very, very naked right now. Put some clothes on it, if you will, some tattoos, some stuff. Draw a birthday cake, because it's his birthday. Did you feel that about it?
The watermelon?
But right now, I want to introduce the very awesome and talented Mark Taylor, the funny guy.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's up? Before I get started, I need to get something off my chest, or my shirt, should I say. Does anybody got a Tide pen? I was at the restaurant earlier, and you are what you eat, I guess. Anyway, I relish the fact that you mustered the strength to catch up with me. Do you know how come I can't trust stairs? Because they're always up to something?
Okay.
Hey, do you know how come cows have hoofs instead of feet? Because they lactose?
Yeah.
I was talking to a farmer friend of mine at work, and he says, "Hey Mark, I got married." I said, "Congratulations, how did you find her?" He said, "Oh, I just tracked her down."
Oh.
Let's see. Do you know how come you can't keep secrets in the bank? Because they have too many tellers? I like to do something a little different. My friend Brian is here, and we've been talking about wrestling a lot lately, and everything. And SummerSlam is coming up this Sunday. So I figured we go back in time to, let's say, 1990. And I'll play 3 parts. Okay, I'll play the guy, Sean Mooney. He's the guy that tells the events that are happening. And I'll be a couple of the wrestlers that will be there. So you hear like, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a hot summer night here at the WWF Event Center. And it's going to be a really hot night at the IMA Sports Arena. And here's what we have for you, the matches here for you tonight. We got Hulk Hogan going up against Sergeant Slaughter. We have the Bushwhackers going up against the Orient Express. We got the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, going up against Macho Man Randy Savage. And we got Hacksaw Jim Duggan going up against the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. But right now it's Hulk Hogan talking about Sergeant Slaughter. Well, let me tell you something, brother. You know something, me and my Hulkamaniacs, you know something, Sergeant Slaughter, you may bring your own rules and regulations, but this is the WWF, brother, and what you're gonna do when me and my Hulkamaniacs run wild on you.
Yay.
That was Hulk Hogan talking about Sergeant Slaughter, and now, here's the Bushwhackers talking about the Orient Express. Whoa! Yay! Oh, Cousin Luke! Oh, Cousin Butch! You know, we're going up against the Orient Express, and we're going to take them down. That's right, cousin, we're going to take them down, aren't we? Oh, yeah, we're going to rough them up, aren't we? Oh, yeah, and we're going to do this for Mom. Yay! That was the Bushwhackers, and you can join them and the rest of the gang here tonight at the IMA Sports Arena. Well, thank you very much. That was my time.
You gotta do the Bushwhackers entrance.
Yeah.
You should get a
Jump
red
in stage like
scarf
that.
to put on your head when you talk like and change it to the other one.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
So from one Bushwhackers fan to another, that was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Next we have Julie Gray.
Is this on?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Seeing you guys have already seen me with my drum, and some of you guys know me enough to know the backstory of that. Some haven't. There's a few things that I've kind of noticed about this drum that I picked up on that actually helps me. For those that don't know me, I am now profoundly deaf. Without my hearing aids, I'm basically and legally deaf. I didn't start off that way. I started off hearing, and in my early 20s I noticed I having ringing in the ears. I was hearing some sounds that I didn't hear before. Now I'm 41 and here I am. But also too, when I was like in kindergarten way back when, I used to pile my books up, take pencils, eraser, bam, 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 bam. I had a little bit of fascination for the drums. So middle school comes by, they do test all of us and say, what kind of instruments would they be good at? They gave me a trumpet. I would say, well, gee golly, I really blew. I sucked at it. I still wanted to play the drums. Well, a friend of mine had drums, and I went over to her house and I just sat down and I just went at it. He's like, wow, you do better than me. I'm like, I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen. Oh well. I grew up, I got over it, slowly lost my hearing, and I started dating Mark. Not only is he funny, he also does know how to play the drums. He's got a drum kit and, you know, played with bands, and he's an awesome drummer. Well, about a couple months ago, my parents brought home a bucket of pork rinds from Sam's. Well, here I am, I'm just looking at it and I'm turning it over and I'm, you know, tapping on it. I'm like, that sounds kind of cool. So they emptied it out. I got some spray paint. I'm talented at crafts and arts and all kinds of stuff. So I've been crocheting since I was 8. So I just made up my own pattern and came up with a drum. And still kind of hee-hawing a bit about what to do with it, but a couple weeks ago we went to another open mic night, and there was various different singers up there and whatnot, and out of a whim this guy comes up and he's blind. And he starts, you know, doing his thing on his guitar, and just, for some reason, I started jamming along with him. And I'm like, this is ironic. We got a blind guy singing and a deaf girl drumming. I was like, wow, this is just the neatest thing. On top of it, one more other thing, the side thing that I've learned, that if someone's up there singing whatnot, I can point this end at them or at the speakers or whatever, and put my hands on like this, and I can feel the vibration like crazy off this thing. So not only am I, banging on it to send out vibration, I'm also feeling it from other places. So, yeah, it ended up being just a real simple thing, but got multiple purposes for me now. So, I'm kind of shy about actually trying to do something right now because there's no music to go along with. So, if you guys just happen to hear me out there, then I might be just jamming along with you, and you hear me, or I don't know, but if anybody wants to actually get up here and jam together, well, we'll give it a whirl. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about it and do an update of what I found out about it. Oh, and I'm making Mark a red one. So we're going to be doing it together soon. So hopefully he can teach me some stuff. Not just like go solo and try to figure out what to do. All right, well, thank you.
Maybe it's time at the end we can ask people to come on stage and play music.
Huh?
Maybe if we have enough time at the end, we can, where is he? Oh, if we, at the end, if we have time, like we don't, then we can all go up on the stage with people that want to.
Okay.
Okay, did you hear that?
Yeah,
I mean, if we have extra time, but you gotta play too, though.
So if we have extra time at the end and we wanna just have a big old jam, we can, so that way she can actually use your drum and get down, funky style. People like that funk, right?
It's fun too.
You like the funk? You like the funk? You like the funk? You like the funk?
Everybody likes the funk.
Exactly, man.
Get the funk out my face.
You want me to call you next or not?
Okay.
So we have the wonderful and handsome Robb Anthony next, who is getting the funk up here.
Still over that bagel.
Yes, that case still smells like an everything bagel, by the way. You can go out there and sniff it if you want. I'm not good. So, couple notes. I got put on the trumpet too. So, I wanted to play saxophone and they stashed me on the trumpet. Also, Mark, if they ever did that lineup of that fight card for WWF at IMA, I would kill somebody to go to that. I'm not even kidding. I will murder somebody to see that. Anyways, my name's Robb Anthony. I'm one half of Mad Anthony and the Dead Serious. We're a local band. We do things and stuff. And we are playing at the aforementioned Free City Festival. We're playing Friday at 10 p.m. And then the following Friday, we're playing at Corona Road Bar, also at 10 p.m. So, if you like to do fun stuff on your Friday evenings, feel free to come out. We'll make sure you have a horrible time. Otherwise, just got a few originals for you. Standing in the Sunday rain, as you cross stained glass pane, look on your face is always the same. Black and eyes ain't got no shame. All the people gathered around took a vote they had found. What you do just isn't allowed.
stuck out of town. I know, I know, I know you're true. I know, it's all 'cause of you. Doesn't matter anyhow. Don't care what you do, it doesn't matter anyhow. Don't care what you do, it doesn't matter anyhow. Sucked you in and I caught you out. You're poison, there's no doubt. Gotta dig it deep from under the skin. Your ways only lead to sin. Gotta run, gotta get away. This town's gonna make you pay. Gotta find running wild. Oh baby, honey child. I know the truth. I know, it's all 'cause of you. Don't care what you do, it doesn't matter anyhow. Don't care what you do, it doesn't matter anyhow. Don't care what you do, it doesn't matter anyhow. Don't care what you do, it doesn't matter anyhow. A couple other originals that are new that I just finished writing the past couple weeks, so I hope you enjoy them. So long, breathe in, do you blue? What's that feeling? I don't know. My face, neck breaks, feeling all alone. That's why I broke heart as a bird so low. crashing, burning. We don't have to die alone, no. You'll never find your way home.
So give it up for Robb. Also, I apologize if I blinded you in my flash. I was taking a picture of my pretty friend Kyle back there.
Oh. He's the cutest.
Yeah, he's my boo thing. So y'all don't need to know about that. Back at you. I actually forgot the joke that I was about to say.
Aww.
As soon as I remember that, I'll let you know. But next we have Glen Birdsall. Give it up for Glen Birdsall, right? All right. Yeah. There you go. Do your thing, homie. Thanks.
Do you want this on?
Yeah. You know what? Today I don't care. How's that?
You don't care? Well, it gives me more views, you know, with all your fans want to watch the video because you're on there. And it's just very helpful.
Look at that.
Look at that advertisement.
I think it's sideways.
How's that advertisement?
They're both sideways.
I know, they're supposed to be sideways. They keep my spot. How's it going? Jennie, how's it going?
How's it going? Are you just talking to me? It's going it's going great.
Say,
Mr.
Jennie,
We don't need this.
this thing you speak of, this creative alliance thing, would there be anybody in the room who might like be a charter member of that creative alliance?
Oh yeah, we need members really bad.
No, my question is there anyone in this room who is a charter member of the creative alliance?
You mean somebody has an office?
Someone who was at the get-go, the onset.
Oh,
of
well, the
creative
first. Oh yes, Glen Birdsall.
Was I one of the creators of the Creative Alliance?
Yes, you were. You are one of the
Really?
prophets. Yeah. Yeah, you paved the way for people like us.
How's everybody doing out there?
Good.
Good. I don't come to many of these anymore, but it's good to see all of you here. Awesome comedy.
Thank you.
Good job. And yes, an awesome comedy there. Awesome comedy here. Actually, I'm going to do poetry, which isn't really funny. So, the fact that I'm doing it makes it funny, I think. So, the first piece I'm going to do, plus I don't have my glasses on, so this will be also an experiment in my memory, as well as jumping through hoops. So the first poem I'm going to do was actually written for a very good friend of mine, Nick Custer. Nick Custer fans out here? No? Right there? Right here? Nick Custer. So this is written for a good friend, Nick Custer. It is called I Need to Move This Chair,
That's an interesting.
AKA Genesee Golem. Times are lean and they're only getting leaner as I tighten my rust belt because my waist is getting meaner. Children with stomachs that growl, wife who can't sleep, and I'm working twice as hard to keep my sanity, while my vanity has been shattered on the floor, and I hold, keep face when our bellies are sore. Again, glasses. Why should this happen to my life? To me, my children, my wife? I have tried to revive with a spark, a life in the dark. And I am turning my head toward all I can do. And now that these melancholy, manicured manufacturers have all left town, we are left with scenes so obscene I can barely remember my dreams at 17. Where did my youth go? I search for it in traces of the picture show. We've been at work here in the middle, the easiest spots to stretch. And now I have stretched $1, my mind, my patience, my family, my friends, and sacrifice just to suffice and not drown, because once you've pulled on sacrifice, pulled until it loses shape or doesn't hold, it withers, it flakes, it begins to decay, till one day it breaks. And when sacrifice breaks, you'll have nothing more to give. You'll be empty, even of air. I will believe one day that I can take my hands from the timepiece wheel. Naturally, the sounds are sad, and I feel like I might have already died. For sure. For sure, I am one of the poor, beginning to rust from the core. A soul isn't history, but without a soul, does history even matter? Times are lean and they're only getting meaner. This world is wrapped up in a foot race, designed so I can't win. I send out my stress, a beacon of SOS. I'm gonna bend down and pick up this pencil. I had a birthday recently, so I'm much older than I was even a week ago. Right? Is that how time works? Does time work like that?
It's every second.
Oh, son of a gun.
Don't worry, I won't take a picture of your butt or anything.
Alright. Edit that part out. Or make it look like I stood on my hands.
Wait,
and
you guys
stuff.
think I really pay attention? Like, oh.
So now I'm going to read a really funny one. It's not funny. Is everybody still out there?
Yeah.
The lights are super bright. So, okay, these are 2 of my books. You can get them on Amazon. Is that right, Jenny? You can get them on Amazon?
I don't know.
So yes.
I bet you can.
Yeah, you can.
How much are they?
Well, good thing you asked. 36 Chambers of the Taoist is only $6.
Only $6?
Yes. And One Song Can Change the World, written with the great other author Paul Canellis, is $10.
Only $10?
Only $10.
Is it a scary book?
No.
Okay.
It's poems about music.
Okay.
So that's that. There's my pitch. You know, 36 Chambers of the Taoist, I haven't sold a copy since 2015. So I'm just saying,
Well,
help a guy out here.
you're doing better than much.
All right.
As good as the rest of us are.
So, I guess
sold
I'll read
that?
one from 36 Chambers.
Okay, cool.
So, times are hard, of course, as that poem once said, so I'm just going to bring the house down even a little bit more with harder times. But this poem actually is kind of about rising up. So this is about, we live our life by collecting influences. And we use those influences to build our character. And our character has to then go out into the world and make the right decisions. So, at the end of this poem, I have something that I have been kind of criticized about here and there, but there's a part at the end of the poem that's really about not following blindly government or religion. Doesn't mean I'm against government or religion. Okay?
Why are you afraid?
I am a little afraid. So, this is called Racial Free URL. It's originally written for a radio show, and we'll see how that goes. This goes out to all the listeners, to the broken fixers, to the you, I, and everybody. Because these words cannot be stopped. I will no longer allow myself to be a coward, to be caged, shackled, or towered. My voice cannot be killed, it cannot be captured. I am the here, I am the now, I am the Shaolin, the sit-in, Charlie Chaplin, I am the Martin Luther, and the King Jr. I am Slam, Glam, I am the David Bowie. The 7 dirty words you can't say on radio or TV. I am Krushinsky, I am Joe Barish, I am the temple and the parish. I am the Buddha, I have been assassinated, and I am the shooter. I am the forest, the sea, I am the majesty of all the words that transverse this you and I universe. Because once all ideas, thoughts, and words leave my lips, they eclipse the sun, stronger than a poison bullet gun. I am not number 1, 2, or 3. I am the them, the you, and the me. To leave you choking on your octothorping for this new morning, we begin to solve why I got to claw just to love, why I got to love just to breathe, why I got to come before I leave, why you own all and won't share the ball of wax in the stacks of equality that is unshareable, because it is unbearable to think I am not you and you not me in this unequal equality. Society has got me down and angry, and I don't know what to do. Do you? Are you as confused as I am why love is not the center of all things? Doing, being, existing, persisting, insisting that I can fix it all? Is it possible? Is it worth it? Our modern malaise is sending us down the wrong road. We believe what we believe. And we do this knowing it is all wrong. Stop this fucking madness. Stop it right now. Turn it the right way and drive yourself into a consciousness of each other. Make sure you will never carry yourself how you think, act, and feel right now, because change is forever. You will not escape it. You can only accept it. Everything else that holds the now will surely suffer in their mind, in their heart, from the end to the start. So here I lay out the words to coax you out of a hoax, and use words sharper than swords, mightier than daggers, because I am not afraid to be Caesar's Brutus or Christ's Judas. I would surely kill any king for us all to be equal. Or you, me, and I, less them, those that merely share the sky. Pick up, lift up yourself. Pick up, lift up words as weapons, right now, right here, in Shakespeare. Okay, I'll read one more and then we'll bring up another awesome person. Who's next, by the way?
Joe Daniels.
Joe Daniels, are you ready? Awesome.
Get a guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm warming up for you, Joe. Warming them up for you. So this is called The Beaten Generation. It wasn't written by me. It was written by a good friend of mine named Matt Johnson. So it's kind of like a cover song, right? Me doing somebody else's piece. Matt's written this cool little piece that I think reflects now. It's kind of what I'm trying to do tonight, is to do poems that have a lot to do with where we are. So,
I'm sorry, but did you say it was, which Matt is it?
Matt Johnson,
Oh,
very
Matt
good
Johnson.
friend of mine. He doesn't know he's a very good friend of mine. Technically, he wouldn't know at all. He's actually the lead singer of Blah Blah.
Oh, so you're
Super
more
famous
like a
band, but I'm
stalker
considering him
than
a friend of mine. I used to consider Dave Bowie a friend of mine. I still do.
Oh.
So, here we go, The Beaten
As
Generation.
long as you don't get within 200 yards or something, is it?
Yes, Jennie. The same exact document that I have signed for you.
Okay. Damn it.
The Beaten Generation. When you cast your eyes upon the skylines of this once proud nation, can you sense the fear of the hatred growing on the hearts of this population? And youth, oh youth, are being seduced by the greedy hands of politics and half-truths. The Beaten Generation, reared on a diet of prejudice and misinformation. The Beaten Generation, open your eyes, open your imagination. We're being sedated by the gas line fumes and hypnotized by the satellites into believing what is good and what is right. You may be worshiping the temples of Mammon or lost in the prisons of religion, but can you still walk back to happiness when you've nowhere left to run? And if they send in the special police to deliver us from liberty and keep us from peace, then won't the words sit ill upon their tongues when they tell us justice is being done, and that freedom lives in the barrels of a warm gun? The Beaten Generation, reared on a diet of prejudice and misinformation, the Beaten Generation, open your eyes, open your imagination. There we go. The interesting thing about this song was it was written during George Bush Sr.'s presidency. So it shows you how far we've come. So, thank you. Very kind.
Órale, vatos. Okay, so next we have Joe Daniels. Joe Daniels, will you come up here and lift our hands? I don't know where you would like this one.
Thank you. No, I'm good.
All right, dude.
I like to stand and try to burn any calories I can.
Okay.
You know that thing is going to be
Is in the
where
way.
your guitar.
I'm usually in the way.
Yeah.
There we
But
go.
do you need it?
I might. I got
Well, then if you just turn it behind you a little bit, like
my
you know, then
stuff
it'll
here, my man cans. What's everybody doing tonight? We're doing good?
Alright.
We're doing great?
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Then move this over here. Got some music to entertain you. Not I'm not a musician by any sense of the means. I'm gonna give it a shot. This one shot, one opportunity. Everybody want it? Yeah.
Is that one string supposed to be hanging like that?
Come on, people. Yeah, give it to you. Yeah. I am sorry, people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the disturbance. I was afraid I was gonna bomb like every Ariana Grande concert. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my guitar too. It's pretty special. My very first guitar. Parents are gonna kill me. Let me get this out of here. What's ridiculous? So I got a lot of demons, folks. A lot of demons. I don't need a psychiatrist. I need an exorcist. I don't know. You can't talk about anything these days anymore. Can't talk about anything. Can't talk about nothing. Can't talk about sex, because Bill Cosby fucked that up. He fucks everybody. Can't talk about death, because Swanson Funerals started to stack dead like empty pizza boxes. Oh, I can't speak at all. Technical difficulties, folks. It's all good. It's all good. We can't talk about dead people, because I'm repeating that joke. We can't talk about tiki torches, because Nazis fucked that shit up. I was looking at the screen on the news feed. I was like, oh, somebody started a beach party. I'm like, oh no, that's not the kind of party I'm talking about. Oh, fuck that shit. No, I was gonna bring some marshmallows to roast, and they're trying to roast something else. I'm not about that kind of life, people. I'm not about that kind of life. And I kept on saying, like, you would not replace us. You were not replaced. I'm looking at the TV screen. I'm like, looking at the crowd. I'm like, I don't know. There's some people that I can replace this crowd right here. What about the guy who brought the tiki torches? How about that? How about that for starters? You need to replace that guy. Oh my God, ruin beach parties for everyone. But no, you can't do that, people. White lives don't matter, because you know what? No lives matter. No lives matter. At this point, nobody fucking matters. You know what matters? Fucking pizza. Pizza don't hurt nobody. The only supremacy I want to hear is about Supreme Pizza. That's all I want to hear about. Supreme Pizza. You got black olives, white cheese, Canadian bacon. You tolerate that. But that's what makes a Supreme Pizza supreme. It's all together. It's all together. It's all one big pie. One big freaking hard, artery clogging piece of pie, but it's all together. So can I, name of solidarity, people, I would like to hand out pieces of pizza to the crowd. You lovely people. No, God, no. No, here's Jennie.
What's in there? Is it going to jump? Anything jump out?
It's pizza. Who else?
Oh,
What else?
really
What else would it be?
Oh, can I have
I'm
like
fat.
half a piece?
Yeah. Oh, my pants are gonna fill up.
Just like I want. Like,
Not about that life, people.
This part.
Make sure
There we go.
Thank you.
There you go. I'll blow that out. Here. You
Is
pass
this
that
a
out?
special pizza?
No, I wish. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Brian.
So we're not going to hallucinate from this pizza?
Oh, it's good.
No, it's good.
How about bring it then?
What?
Just fuck.
There you go. Take these. Are you good? Good? Okay.
This is the most unique open mic I've ever seen.
Take a piece. Take a piece. My pants are gonna fill up. Here. Okay, cool. You can take a piece. I know you would take a piece. You're cool. Yeah. Yeah, take a piece. Okay,
You're like the church donation guy.
Yes, I am. Okay, take the last piece. Pass it to somebody.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So is this going to obligate us to something?
Oh, no.
There we go, people. It's a fat way to end a set, but. Yeah! I'm gonna pick up my guitar later. I got another set tomorrow. So. Okay, this one.
To tape it back together.
Yeah. There's another guitar behind you.
Oh, really? Part 2. Thank you. Oh!
Hey, pizza.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That is what the fuck I'm talking about, dude.
It's like, I want to smash this over my head now. Like, that's what this makes me want to do. Watching you makes me want to try to smash this over my head.
Go ahead, do it.
Alright, hell yeah, dude.
Oh, whoa, dude.
Did that hurt?
So, drink down. I want to bring up the beautiful and talented Holly to the stage now. Holly, come to the stage now. Just go around the bits there. And
Thank you. You want this?
Oh.
No? I think I'm good. Alright, cool. Well.
I do think I got you distorting that guitar too. I'm sorry I kind of jumped.
Okay. I think I know what I'm doing. Alright, we'll try this out. This is a cover and I haven't practiced it in a minute, so hopefully it turns out okay. See, I don't even know the words. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Okay. Heart knows better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Find ourselves in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Felt a little fear upon my back, said don't look back, just keep on walking. While the big black horse, he looked this way, said hey, lady, will you marry me? I said no, 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 no. I said no, no, you're not the one for me. No, 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 no. I said no, no, you're not the one for me. I'm hot on an early hour, so stopped it dead for a beat or two. Oh, 'cause I'm caught and I shouldn't have done that. Now I won't forgive me after all these years. I'm sitting away to the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. I won't come back 'cause it's all so happy and I've got a hole for the world to see, yeah. Okay. The song is about a prostitute, so I wonder if that's why you picked it. Getting a little toasty up here, though. That's what I tell you. All right. We're doing another original. It's called Father Time.
I've heard of that.
Jumping still with two tattoos to match the dream we used to have. Spinning round and round again, spinning round my head. It's not that kind of love, it's not there, I've tried. It's not that kind of pace, it's not there, I've tried. Running, running fast from the ghosts I left behind. Running, running fast from the jaws of my past. It's not that kind of love, it's not real, I've asked. It's not that kind of fear, it's not real, I've asked. drowning out the noise now, being drowned by the noise of Glen.
Is she the Spectre playing anywhere soon?
No. We are playing at the Grand Blanc Farmers Market eventually. I think that's coming up soon, actually. October, I want to say.
Oh, so you're probably on some place where people can.
Yeah, Facebook. Go to the place.
She the Spectre's at all one word?
3 words. She, the Spectre,
Okay.
and it's Spectre like Regina Spectre.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And an O.
Do you wanna read?
What?
One
No.
of those.
No.
Exit out, stage left.
Oh, you might.
Don't trip
This
over
one's for you,
the
Kyle.
debris.
That was Holly, and she's out. So far, that's everybody that signed up on this list.
But you gotta play it,
Oh, do I?
right? Yeah, that's part of the deal, dude.
Oh man, I gotta do that.
That's why you went and got your guitar.
Okay. All right. So I will do a song now, I guess.
With the bass?
Guitar, actually.
With both at the same time?
Probably do that. So I don't sing very often, so prepare yourselves for that. And you will see why I don't sing very often. I do believe in freedom and never giving up. Some call my methods, some call my methods madness, some call it luck. I do what I got to, just be able to breathe. And if you did the job, you could do a little breathing with me. A punk rock song will never change the world, but I'll tell you about a couple that changed me. So tonight, we're gonna fuck shit up. Tonight, we're gonna fuck shit up. Tonight, we're gonna fuck shit up. Sing with us now. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is why I don't sing a lot, because I do not sound good on the guitar. A punk rock song will never change the world, but I will tell you about a couple that changed me. So tonight we're gonna fuck shit up. Tonight we're gonna fuck shit up. Tonight we're gonna fuck shit up. Sing with us now. Whoa, 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 whoa,
My mom's gonna hate me!
Your mom already does!
Oh! Ouch!
I'm just projecting my own insecurities upon you, bro. Who wants a nice, sad song?
We'll make it cry.
Okay, this song is I'm Gonna Make Kyle Cry. make you cry. I ate the last piece of pizza in the fridge. And I put Big Gay in your lotion bottle. And I rented 1,000 copies of Jerry Maguire on VHS.
Yeah.
On your credit card. I'm actually surprised this is coming out so late. Kyle, I hate you. And then I actually don't know what else to do up here. I kind of expended most of my niches and weird quirks about me. I actually do a pretty nice one really fast.
Is there any pizza left in there?
No, there's nothing left in that. We demolished it, bro. Okay, so who likes Landslide? Good, because I'm not playing it. I guess if I do any real song, I do like to do this one by Red Hot Chili Peppers. The song is called Road Trippin'. Road tripping down the road of my two allies, fully loaded, we got snacks and supplies. It's time to leave this town, it's time to steal away. Let's go get lost anywhere in the USA. Let's go get lost, Who you sit so pretty west of the one? Spot the light with yellow, I sing just a meal for the sun. Just a meal for the sun. Just a meal for the sun. Your sparkling eyes just So I don't know what that means from right here at this moment.
I got
you
more
know,
jokes.
what was that?
Did you want to do that thing where everybody that wants to can come on stage and you guys just jam together?
Does anybody want to come all up at once and jam? Somebody with a guitar,
Definitely.
or like sing.
Drum.
Somebody who's better at singing than this sad person right here.
Oh wait, we got one more person here too first.
All right, awesome. Hope you don't mind a
She's
bunch
on
of
the
debris.
list. Here we go. could start
Perfect.
picking a little bit of it out.
What's your name?
Amber Hassan. Can I take
Oh, she's the one with the thing, August 25th, right? Is it August 25th?
It is August 25th.
Great.
Loudmouth got a broken.
You should talk about it because you understand.
Cool. Can I step on the debris?
Well, we need to pick up the debris a little bit, you
I didn't know if it
know.
was gonna be used later.
Yeah.
I wish I could be here when the debris happened. I have always been ready to break the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
So I can't take that off my bucket list now.
I just grab
You want it or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Upcycle that to something
Yeah, I'm
nice.
gonna
Just gonna tape it back together again.
I'm gonna glue
Nice
it and
amount.
go on tour.
Do it again.
That's pretty dope. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay, y'all gonna have to do better than that. I know I'm late as hell, but how y'all doing?
Great.
Alright! And it's hot up here, so I'm gonna take off just a layer of clothes. Cause I got out the shower and it was cold as hell, and then it was like, no, that's not working. So, something like stripping.
Yeah. Da, da, da.
Way more stretch marks.
Joe, I just stay back here.
Yeah.
So I'm Amber Hassan. Again, I am a spoken word artist. I do a one-woman show called Loudmouth Ghetto Girl. If you want to know why it's called that, you have to come to the show.
August
It will be
25th.
August 25th, 7 to 10 p.m. It's going to be some hip-hop, some spoken word, some comedy. I got some singers going to open up for me. If y'all know any pole dancers, send them my way. Any mimers, you know, whatever. But I'm going to do some poetry and then I'm going to get off the stage. Is that cool?
Cool.
Even if it wasn't, this shit free, so I mean. Y'all gonna be like, no! I found God in myself and I loved her dearly. With her around, I don't need anyone else near me, so at times I speak so that only she can hear me. On occasion, I get teary when I think about the she who almost wasn't, and the hundreds of little girls just like her, so each day I rewrite her with one detail remaining constant. She's always a fighter. And I may not always like her, but I'll always love her. I'm not afraid to show her public displays of affection. She is my resurrection, the reflection of my hardest learned lessons. See, I offer her protection while she gives me clarity. I feel like she's getting the short end of the stick, but that doesn't seem to matter. She says that as long as I've repaid her in laughter, that I fulfill my obligation. She says she's been here from the beginning. I just had to give her some space and she'll be here for the duration. I just have to be patient and trust her. She's made up of portions of my daughter and my mother. And Aunt Norma and Aunt Val and Grandma Annie and Grandma Fan and all those other women who let me hold their hand and gave me pieces of themselves so that I could expand. I could never fully repay them, so in their names I plan to tell every little brown girl I meet that she is beautiful. Give them first-hand accounts of what this world can do to you and teach them how to fight through it. I'll show them that happiness is replenishable, but it's up to them to renew it. No one can give it or take it. So sometimes the best battle plan is to be still and patient. Rebel with silence. My mama taught me that I could kill them with kindness. My daughters taught me about love and its definite blindness, and that I am definitely a demonstration of how the divine dwells within each person. So I'll stop searching. I channeled all that energy into fulfilling my purpose, and no, I'm not perfect, but I'm still working. And maybe one day, I'll scratch the surface. Poetry, and if I have time, I can do a little hip hop. It's about the Flint water crisis. I got anybody who like is a drummer or something, because I got a track to go with it, but I don't, you know, I mean, if anybody don't mind accompanying me.
I'm not sure what the question was, sorry.
I'm about to do a hip hop song, and I don't have my track with me, but if you want to, hey.
You want to give it a shot? I'm not sure if I'm so good at it, but.
Hey, it don't matter. It's all experimental up here. So,
drum on.
Collaboration.
Collaboration. And this is about the Flint water crisis, and I hope I don't offend anybody, because this is my first time in a long time performing in a room full of all white people. I do say
We're not
the
always
N-word
all
in
white.
this
It's just,
song.
I don't know.
No, it's cool. I like performing in front of all white people, or black people, or Asian people. I don't care really. At the end of the day, I'm gonna offend somebody no matter what. So I say the N-word, but it's necessary, kind of. I guess I don't know. But so. Hey, that used to be my poetry name. Quit telling people that. Glen is one of my favorite people. Him and R.I.P. Ryan. I should have brought my notebook. I could have did a piece I wrote for Ryan. But I'm gonna just start and you just join in. Okay. Choppers keep flying around here, and niggas keep dying. I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. Cause choppers keep flying around here, but niggas keep dying, I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. I'm robbing Peter just to pay Paul to buy water. Dad, I can't drink. Dad kill you and say that you enjoyed yourself. Keep your eyes on them, don't blink. Things ain't black and white as you think. I can't trust the water out of my sink. I can't trust the words up out of their mouth. Cause they'll pump the poison right to your house. And I'm saying choppers keep flying around here, but niggas keep dying, I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. Cause choppers keep flying around here, and niggas keep dying, I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. Dad kid was saying that you paid for it, had a master plan and you slaved for it. Got a babies bathing in contamination and they'll cut you off if you late for it. The city trying to blame the state for it, and the state, they ain't gonna never pay for it. Give us band-aids for our bullet wounds. They'll kill us without making the bullets bump. Even thugs stressing, got babies at the doctors getting blood tested. I got tons of questions, Googling symptoms for legionnaires. This is much worse than our deepest fears. We get apologies for the policies that poisoned our whole city. No warrants issued, no charges filed. Snyder's still at the crib sitting pretty. And I'm saying choppers keep flying around here, and niggas keep dying, I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. Cause choppers keep flying around here, and niggas keep dying, I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. They're killing us softly like Roberta say. More ahead of a shower than the murder rate. We been screaming in silence, all they see is the violence. These the problems of the first world today. Bottled waters ain't gonna cut it. So I'm spitting this with no filter. Murder mitten is such a fit entitled, cause even the governor's a killer. And I'm saying choppers keep flying around here, but niggas keep dying, I swear. I can't drink the water and I can't afford the bills. If you sick of this shit, better pop another pill. Hey, alright. Live out there in the world. Please come check out the show. It'll be a lot of fun. Keith has all the information here. Thank you. And for all the women artists in here, we're also having a show September 3rd out at the old All Stars at Sharky's. Southmore. That's what it's called now. Southmore. I don't know. But we're having a show out there called the Sister Tour, and it is pushing women artists. We are just trying to collaborate with different artists, give women artists a platform where they can, showcase their work and it not be in a male-dominated arena. So, if you want to find out about that, holla at me, Amber Hassan on Facebook, The Amber Hassan, Instagram, everywhere else. Hassan, H-A-S-A-N, and it's hot as hell up here under these lights. And I just got out the shower. You know how you get that just off the shower sweat? So, so it's like all down my back, and it might be down my butt crack. So I'm gonna have to go take it in the shower. But have a great evening. Thank y'all so much.
Excellent drum beat.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job, Mark.
Thank you. I knew I had to drum up something,
So that was awesome. So yeah, I think now if anybody wants to come up and then just have a free form open jam, you know, no jazz, but jam, you know.
Is anybody interested?
Y'all
I
know
know
jazz?
that Kevin's the only one.
I will next month.
Oh, and Brian.
Yeah, y'all three want to jazz? You look like you jazz. I jazz. It's jazz. Who wants to hear a dirty joke? Say what you will about pedophiles, at least they'll slow down in the school zone.
Is it still going on?
Yeah, oh, you want to do it?
Oh, no, I was just asking if it's going on still.
Yeah, every month.
So I don't know if that's it or not. What do we do from here? Jennie.
Oh, no, do you, if we want to, we can leave early. Does anybody have anything they want to do? Otherwise,
Any jokes, any sad poetry, things like that?
we could all go to the Golden Leaf and have a beer.
Who wants to go to the Golden Leaf and have a beer with Jennie? Yeah.
Oh, we all got to. We all gotta go.
Alright, well, so from Good Beans and Anteroons, everybody, live long and fuck off.
Okay.